I open myself to greater love. Hi, everyone. Antonio Thornton. February 24th, day number 55 of 365 Science of Mind. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. And today's lesson is I open myself to greater love. And I'm going to read a quote today from Rick Warren. And that quote is, "The best use of life is love. The best expression of love is time. The best time to love is now." Love it. So, in continuation of our month of love, February, I'm going to go ahead and jump into our lesson today. Love is more than a sentiment. It is a need, a hunger, a thirst that is perfectly natural. Anyone who thinks he can live and be happy without it does not know what he is talking about, psychologically, emotionally, or spiritually. Love is the beginning and end, the impulse in nature that will not be denied. Let us think back beyond the individual to the source of all life. I believe that the whole universe is the givingness of the creative spirit to the delight of its own being into the creation that is itself in that creation. Love is the principle of life, for it is the nature of everything to give. Only the one who loves so much that there is no longer room for hate will ever arrive at the place where, if there may be hate, he will never know it. I'm going to skip a little further down here and read, "None of us is as perfect in expression as we ought to be. So the challenge to each of us is to be great enough to rise in love, in charity, through understanding and compassion. Love is the lodestone of life." And that, my friend, I can literally drop the mic on that one, because that is what we've been talking about in all these lessons, all 54 lessons prior to today, and the remaining 300 for the rest of the year, is that all is love and love is all. And when we realize it, we recognize it, we accept that as truth, we accept that as the absolute foundation of truth. Oh, what a joy. It says here, only the ones who love so much that there is no longer any room for hate will ever arrive at the place where, if there may be hate. Get that? If there may be hate, you will never know it. You won't even recognize it. Let me tell you why and how that happens in the space of our practical living. You know, when you find yourself making a shift in your life, spiritually, emotionally, where you're going from one place to another, the things that were in that place where you were before tend to go away. And when I say that, I don't experience drama in my life, it's because I've gotten myself away from the conversation of drama so that I don't even know it. I don't even see it, because I don't attract myself to it. I don't allow that to exist in my experience. And drama could be anything that you mention. And here's the thing. Now, it does not by any means mean that my life is perfect, because it is not. But things don't show up in the way that they did before. Things that may have shown up once as problems now show up as challenges. Things that may have shown up as difficult before, now they show up as opportunities for me to grow. And it's not just because I'm using different words to be cute and just changing the semantics, but I've actually changed my own experience of those things, because I've changed my way of thinking. I've changed my way of being. And because of that, they show up very, very differently. You know, I haven't had an argument since the 90s. The 90s. I haven't had an argument in almost 20 years. And it's not because I let everyone walk over me. It's not because I'm so agreeable, because I'm not. And if you know me, you probably know that I'm not. But the one thing that you will also say about me, that you know about me, is that I don't argue. And no one argues with me, because that's just not where I am vibrationally. And that's exactly what they're saying. When you have filled all the space of your existence, all the places in your life as with love, you just don't leave room for hate. You don't leave room for it. And if it does even show up in any capacity, you may not even see it. Someone may be spewing hate at you and you don't even hear it. You may find yourself, having fortuitous scenarios where you just missed a certain scenario. Something happened. You leave and then boom, something happens in that place because you're not even allowing that in your existence. That's the beauty of this lesson, is of opening yourself to a greater love. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you with a practical application here, and then we're going to move into our meditation and affirmation for today. Do a love-hate inventory. I would draw a line down, grab a blank sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle, write down the things that happen on a regular basis in your life that you love, and then write down write down the things that happen on a regular basis that you hate. Whether it's traffic, whether it's going to work, whether it's your spouse. I mean, we're just keeping it real here. It could be anything. What are the things that you hate? And here's what we want to do. How can we eliminate those things from our lives? That's the question that we're going to ask, is how can we get the things off the list that we hate, move those away, add more to the things that we love? How do we do that? It's by choice. You hate your job? Find another job. Now you might be saying, well, that's easy to say, Antonio, I can't find another job. No, it's just as easy to do. You get to choose where you want to work. You get to choose that. You get to choose who you're married to. That's another thing as well. Most things in our lives are choices. Most things. So we want to take that in consideration of where are you spending your time? What are you filling your cup with? Are you filling your cup with love? Or are you filling your cup with hate? We're going to pour out the hate and only leave room for love. With that, I'm going to go ahead and shift gears into our meditation and affirmation for today. And as we usually do, we're going to take a deep breath in to open our minds, open our spirits, and center ourselves. And as I say this affirmation, I'll say it in first person, of course, for myself. And you are always welcome and invited to receive these words for you as well. So we're just going to take a deep breath in and let it out. I respond lovingly to all persons, recognizing that the spiritual life is the real life. I surround myself with love, the key to joyous living. And so it is. Thank you guys for another great lesson, for joining me in this journey of 365 days of Science of Mind. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for another episode of 365 Science of Mind. Take care.